Okay, so those who know what Toastmasters is, it's an organization where you can actually practice giving speeches in leadership. I started in the organization in 2003. My company at the time had a posting that they were starting a Toastmasters club. I majored in speech communications but had never delivered a speech. I was quite nervous. In fact, my wife is from North Carolina, and I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts. We have a big communication problem. Well, we did. In fact, one night, after we were married, I bought her a convertible. It was a warm, warm summer night, and I had my arm hanging out the window. And I kept on going, my arm hurts, my arm. She almost drove off the side of the road and looked at me and said, "What's an arm?" So I pulled my arm back into the window and said, "My arm." And she said, "We really need to work on that." And I said, I think I have an idea. It's called Toastmasters. So almost 10 years later, I've been able to lead the organization. This organization is worldwide. We have clubs in 116 countries, over 250,000 members, and growing. In North Carolina, we have 197 active clubs, ranging from corporations in downtown Charlotte to Raleigh, all over the whole state of North Carolina. We have almost 5,000 members, and we have over 70 clubs in the greater Charlotte area. So for those of you who have the fear of public speaking, you're going to see how this program can help you overcome public speaking fear, as well as serving as a leader. We're trying to buy time here, waiting for Philip to come so we can recognize him. Okay. In Toastmasters, we do a thing called table topics. And table topics is an important part and a vital tool when learning how to speak. Table topics is like when you get in an elevator with the president and CEO of the company, which that happened to me. And they ask you a question, who are you and what do you do for work here? Well, because of Toastmasters, I was able to answer the question and provide her with a stat, information that she could take and remember who I was. And more importantly, I gave her an educated answer. So we are going to move into our table topics part of our session here. And I'm going to introduce our table topics master. He has served as a district governor. He's past district governor, has achieved the highest honor Toastmasters International bestows, which is a presidential citation, and has multiple education achievements, including 3 distinguished Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, our table topics master, Mr. Barney Barnum, DTA.
I think I'm ready. There we go. This part of the meeting, there are 250,000 people around the world that are meeting this week. In 119 countries in the world that are doing this very same process. This is one of the portions of the Toastmaster meeting. It teaches people to think on their feet very effectively. Their creativity comes out, much like in your brainstorming sessions and when you do your mind mapping presentations. And this is where it really pops out. It's something that is practiced every day, and it's done every week in a meeting on Toastmasters, which helps us develop the skill, because it's thinking on our feet and being rapid and coming up with a good idea about something we don't know about in advance. So I've got a couple people that I'm going to be calling on in just a moment. I'm Barney Barnum. I've got 25 years in Toastmasters, and I have had the great privilege of watching people grow and become better individuals, grow from being absolutely immobilized to being absolutely creative people and great presenters. That's what Toastmasters has been able to do for a lot of people, over 4 million around the world. This is an 87-year-old organization, and we've got it down pretty well pat, and we are really proud. Folks in the room, thank you so much. We're humbly proud to be here today, and we want to be able to show you something about, a little bit about what Toastmasters is about that we're going to hear from Chia-Li just a little bit later. I happened to have somebody send me a message a little bit ago, and when I just got here in 1992, I had a theme. It was called Dare to Grow. And just before I walked in the room today, somebody sent me a text message that says this, and I'll read it to you if you don't mind me doing that. We have to dare to experience the unknown, open ourselves to unexpected experiences of the soul. Sir Thomas More. And I believe that that's exactly what happens in Toastmasters. You don't know who you're going to meet, you don't know what you're going to say, but you have the opportunity to impress someone, not so much impress, but express yourself, and maybe touch someone's life. I love Toastmasters and the idea, Philip, of being an indispensable partner with your organization. So I want everybody in the room to, I love this slogan, I saw it everywhere, eat sushi and be strong. Can I hear that from everybody? Eat sushi and be strong. Can we do that again? Eat sushi and be strong. I love it. Isho Sushi has got to be some marvelous story, and we were really privileged to go on that tour. Andrea, thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. Let's give her a hand. She did a great job for everybody. She doesn't need Toastmaster experience. I think she's got plenty of experience already speaking. Very, very eloquent. Well, here's the first question. I'm going to ask this of Brian Walsh. And this is what I do. Every Toastmaster meeting does this. We ask a question. And Brian doesn't know what this is in advance. So, Brian, you recently delivered a speech to the Project Management Institute. And what did you present? What did you talk about? And why did you choose that to speak about?
I got it, Brian. I had the opportunity to speak at the Project Management Institute at Metrolina. Are there any project managers in the room? Okay. Well, I was not a project manager either. And because of Toastmasters, I was given the opportunity to speak for an hour on anything that I wanted to in regards to communication. For those who don't know what a project manager does, 90% of a project manager's job is communication. Almost 58% of projects fail because of the lack of communication. So I saw it as an opportunity to bring up that we are in a global marketplace. And how I communicate and how you might communicate and receive the message might be totally different. And if we take the time to realize that communication is also a cultural thing. I mentioned the story about my wife in the car and my arm. And it's a story that will live in my memory forever, and she won't let me live it down. Except for when I know when I'm really in trouble, she'll say, "Come here, come here." She'll drop the R for me. But speaking in front of the project managers, I was entering a place that I've never been before. So I had to do some homework. And I actually asked Chia-Li to be part of my panel, because she's a project manager, to talk about how Toastmasters and being a project manager come together. And she was able to deliver a 10-minute presentation on how Toastmasters has helped her improve her communication skills and her use of the English language. Mr. Tabletop Toastmaster.
All right, give him a hand, please. Round of applause. Thank you. Good job, Brian. The next question goes to our second panelist. We have to congratulate him on a recent trip that he took and published a book called Gumba, I'm saying that right, Walks. Probably not saying it right, am I? I'll let you talk about it. So we're going to ask Bob Patushka, what are some of the walks that you see in Toastmasters in your experiences? Just talk about that, Robert. Give him a hand, please.
I believe that every person deserves respect. that we are all connected by our humanity, that people's ideas matter, that we can unleash tremendous potential within organizations if we learn how to observe and respect people. In respecting relationship, humans can build trust, and it's done through a helping relationship. For me, Toastmasters is all about a helping relationship. And it's here where we learn to grow together. Gemba means precious place where value is created. It's a Japanese word. And a Gemba walk is about two things. It's about respect for people and looking for improvements. So in my experience, these two things are very important. Toastmasters helps you to overcome your fear to present in front of others, but it also brings forth an opportunity to build a relationship with people. But it's more than relationship. It's a building of friendships. And from there, we build a family. I am so inspired to be here today. Inspired and to be inspired. It's awesome. Everything I saw and during the Gemba walk of walking through sushi was tremendous. This company reminds me of Zappos inside. It has that playful twist. It's fantastic. I love the open and honest communication. Be compassionate. Be humble. These core values, which you have all over the place here, are just fabulous. I've been thoroughly impressed since I walked in this door. I believe in all of you because of who you are. Thank you.
Our next man he's done some training classes in Bangkok. He's an international speaker and traveler. And he's going to be our top Toastmaster next year. He'll be the district governor. He's right now in the second position, ready to take over as district governor next year. Please help me welcome my good friend, Chien Miller. Chien, out of all the travels, all the things that you do in Toastmasters and worldwide travels, tell us what Toastmasters actually means to you.
Thank you, Barney. I've had the opportunity to do training classes. I do sales and management effectiveness type training workshops in 7 different countries outside the U.S. In almost all those countries, there are Toastmasters clubs. The nice thing about being a Toastmaster is once you join a club, you're welcome at any club anywhere in the world. And you can do that as you travel about. Now, one of the things that I learned that Toastmasters really helped me with, because you have to adjust and know your audience. Well, as you're doing training in different countries, you have to be aware of the culture. What we teach here in the U.S. every day isn't going to work in every country. I'll give you an example. We had a training class in the Netherlands. We had people from 13 different countries in that class. We talked about getting down to business, how to address and establish that contact, that conversation with a client. But one of the members from Germany said very quickly, "You can't do that in Germany. If you do not refer to the gentleman you're talking to as Herr so-and-so, your meeting's over with." When I was in Bangkok, we had students from all over Southeast Asia. And we were struggling a little bit because they were pushing back a little bit as we were trying to teach them how to get a sales call started. But there was a senior gentleman in the room who was quite quiet most of the time. But all of a sudden, he raised his hand, and they called him PK, and he said to everyone, he said, what I've just learned is that proper pre-call planning prevents poor performance. And once he said that, the rest of the class was now involved. And we had a great training session. We actually did 5 training sessions over in Bangkok for people from all over Southeast Asia. Toastmasters helps you adjust your delivery and connect with your audience. Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you, Chien. I think in a simple word, one word that you could probably sum up about Toastmasters is just being comfortable with yourself. I think 3 things that happen to most everybody who gets in a Toastmaster club and gets involved. They have a point of self-discovery. They discover something about themselves. They uncover some strengths that they have about themselves. Then they begin to find out that other people need them, and they become very involved with them. And the whole process of Toastmasters is about sharing what Chien just talked about. And you may very well find something else in your life. You may just find out a purpose that you came here for in the first place, and you might have a greater future because of that.